Okay, so there's a couple of ways to do this. Okay, I'm on this trip. I'm gonna make a movie. I'm gonna make a little video. I got my typical video making apparatus and things, and I also want to. I don't want to wait for the months ahead of time to like that this when this video is going to be put together to share out some stories from the road for you guys. And so I think going live on shorts is a fun way to do this. Do it like maybe a short would be better, but shorts are limited to 3 minutes. And yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe I'm gonna have an obnoxious amount of live streams over the next 4 days, where I'm just gonna pop on and not necessarily to connect with you live, although I would welcome that, and I'd encourage you to leave some comments and let me know where you're coming from and like, sub, and all that. But I just want to have an ongoing blog about this, and I am making one. But I also want to like make another one in parallel with impromptu live streams that come up that maybe will go away at some point. I'm not sure. But at any rate, if you caught me on the last live stream, you will know that I am on this adventure. I took an overnight bus from Tokyo to Himeji, and I'm down here. I've arrived at Himeji, and I'm just outside of the big plaza, the big bus terminal and train station. And I was getting off the bus an hour ahead of schedule. I was sitting there and thinking, okay, I still have a nice relaxing hour and a half before my bus arrives to my station. And then the bus driver's looking at me, and I'm like, where are we? And he's like, we're here. I'm like, but we're not supposed to be here for another hour. And he's like, well, we're here. And I'm like, ah. I dashed off the bus, forgot my glasses in the little pouch, dashed over here to the bus information desk, and they said, oh, you forgot your glasses on the bus. That totally disrupts our system. And I said, oh, God, I'm so sorry. And they said, the bus driver won't come back here for another 30 minutes or something like this. I said, okay, I'm so sorry. He's going to make a whole... Okay, I'm sorry, but we'll get your glasses back to you. Yay! So they're going to bring my scratched up glasses. I should have just chalked it up as a loss, and because I desperately need new glasses. But this may be him pulling up, maybe not. But it's one of these Shinki buses. Okay. That's passing right now. Anyway. Hey, like what would a trip be without a little mishap or two? So, yeah, what's going to happen is I'm going to make my videos, and I'm going to record my things, and I'm going to do my thing for my Canon video that I'm going to make. My chronological, proper, full-on video with editing and stuff. And then I'm going to pepper these next few days with live streams. So that's kind of an interesting thing I'm discovering. How do you make a video? How do you go on an adventure? Broadcast and storytell along the way, and to create sort of a, how to say, like, a play-by-play sort of thing, and while you're at the same time making your like normal videos. So that's a little bit new territory, but I think this will work. The reason I'm not going to do shorts, or I think the reason I won't do shorts, is because I don't want to be limited to 3 minutes at the various places that I want to live stream from. So I'm here at a Jido Hanbaiki. This is a Jihanki. It's a Jido automatic. Jido means Hanbaiki. I don't know what Hanbaiki is, but like a remote control is abbreviated in Japanese to Remocon. Remote control. Remocon. And this is a Jido Hambaiki, and they shorten it to Jihanki. Jido Ham. They take out the last syllable of the first word of the first word and the first syllable of the second word, and they make it Jihanki. And I don't know why, but it's kind of a fun word to say, Jihanki. Oh, and there it is. There's Himeji Castle. That's where I've come. I've come to Himeji Castle. Oh, cool. That's where we're going. So there's a sneak preview of where we're going, and that is probably the crazy fish that is on the top of each of these little points on top of the castle. And the castle is really cool. It's very interesting. If you can, I think you could take a tour through it. And there's a maybe 10 of these castles still standing in Japan of this scale, maybe less even. Maybe there's like 5. I can think of Matsumoto-jo and Himeji-jo and Osaka-jo and Nijo-jo and a few others, but they're all similar, and they have these sort of pagoda type tiers. We're going to talk a little bit about it later, but when you go into visit some of them, you get to go into them, and they're really cool. The one in the one in Kyoto, Nijo-jo, has this famous squeaky floor. Have you been to the Nijo-jo in Kyoto? They have this floor. It's called like the hummingbird floor, the swallow's floor. And when you walk on it, it goes beep, beep, beep. It's got these like little pins, these little wooden pins inside these like little wooden holes underneath it, designed so that if there's an intruder in the castle, you'll be able to hear them from around the castle. And it's the tiniest little squeak, 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 and it's actually kind of pleasant. But it's things like this that you learn about. They've fortified the castle in ways like this, and there's like rock throwing windows and arsenals of like stones to keep people the ninjas from scaling the shrines and the samurai. Castles, not shrines. These are definitely not castles. These are definitely not shrines. They are castles, and it's where the daimyos and the princesses live. And so Hime, I know, is princess because I have Ichi Hime Nitaro. I have one princess I have big sister, little brother, which in Japanese we say is Ichihime, first princess, second prince. And they say that like first princess, second prince is a better child combination than first prince, second princess, because the older princess will take care of the prince. So I know that Hime is princess, and I also know what's the Hime Matsuri is the princess festival. So I can only, and I don't know the kanji for princess, so I can only assume that Himeji is the princess town, the princess castle town, and that is where the princess lived. Who was the princess when this thing got built? I have no idea. Maybe we can find out together. I'm gonna get something from the Jihanki. They usually have like, there's 2 over there, there's 1 here, and then there's 1 right around the corner, and there's like 100 drinks between all of them. And there's probably, so, I mean, I don't know, maybe not 100, 30, there's probably 50 here. And you can go for, this is the kind of premium coffee, the Costa flat white. And you can go for the standard issue Emerald Mountain, the little cute Coca-Colas. You know, sometimes you want something in a can. Sometimes you want something in like a pet bottle, we call them, like a plastic bottle. Sometimes I'll choose a drink based on whether I want to, because the cans have that like a little bit colder. And in the wintertime, this blue paper that you'll see here, it turns into red. And like maybe the last 3 here will be red. And these 4 offerings will be hot. You can get hot coffee and hot like soup, potato soup and corn soup in a can. They're actually really delicious down here. And so it's always kind of a fun time when it changes season and some of the offerings become hot lemon tea, kind of nice. And some water bottles, one that has like maybe a touch of lemon, some standard issue green tea. This is some a different kind of green tea, hojicha maybe, cafe. Okay, caffeine zero. Okay, this one. So this one's got I think natural green tea has is highly caffeinated, and this one's no caffeine. And I don't know, some crazy drink I've never seen before, Skål, since 1971. It's probably based on some Swedish drink, and I bet you it's kind of like a Kalpis kind of deal. And then a bunch of different coffees that have like different, this is like English tea and hot chocolate and coffee with milk and coffee without milk. And actually, these coffees, I'm just going off on this Jihanki. Who would have thought I would have gone off like this? But these are in plastic bottles. This is interesting. These are in plastic bottles. These are all plastic bottles. These are on screw top, like aluminum cans that have little screw tops on them. And then these are plastic again. They're the same. They're like a can of Coke, but they have a different taste. They have this like metallic-y, bittery taste, which I don't really like. I avoid these coffees. I don't really like them. The cold can is nice in the hand, but the taste is bitter. It's more bitter than I like. And the little cans, less so, because they're usually like chock full of sugar. Chill out. What is this one? Moya. Oh, so this is some kind of special drink, and it's a little bit pricey. And you can see by... Okay, well, it's meant to be something in real gold. This is like a Red Bull, Japanese kind of Red Bull kind of deal, and then Coca-Cola. This is like stupidly boring. I'm just killing time waiting for my glasses. There we are. Yeah, there we are. I'm just walking around with my camera. And I mean, more of the same, but just kind of interesting, just like different things. It's the same brand as Coca-Cola is the thing. Is Boss Coffee still a thing? Yeah, man, we can find Boss. Where's Boss? UCC is like almost like the Japanese Starbucks, but it goes back to like the 70s. It was like one of the very, very first coffee importers. Wanda, that's a funny one. That's like a Boss level brand, famous coffee. It goes back like in the 60s maybe. Wanda and UCC were like the premium brands. Boss came in like maybe the 90s maybe. The different Red Bulls. I mean, there's just like heaps. Let's see. We can't find any monsters. Okay, this is a different brand. Kalpis, Asahi. Okay, what? We don't see Boss anywhere. I bet there was a Boss at the last one. Okay, this is the Jihanki edition of Tokyo Record Style. Jihanki edition. And then Tommy Lee Jones, right? He did these Boss commercials. Okay, so Boss must be a different... Coca-Cola must own this little section. They've got the lobby. The Coca-Cola lobby is strong in this area, and the Boss must be a different brand. I think I'm going to go for... You guys want me to try anything in particular? I need a coffee, and I want something cold. I think I'm going to go for this premium flat white Costa coffee. Are you guys... Okay, Photo Winnie. Is Boss still thing? Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones famously did these Boss coffee commercials. And where am I going to put you? I'm going to put you here for a second. And you can actually pay for these things with like your train pass, but I probably should. Okay. I'm thirsty. Yeah, and you know what? Like, this is 200... What do they call this? That's the size. It's tiny. It's like a third of a water bottle, like a third of, you know, like your standard, what is it, like 500 mil? This is like 280 mil or something. And you might think like you're gonna be like, gulp, and it's gone. And it can be like that. But it's like you don't always wish it to be bigger. And when, I don't know, I feel like after in Japan, I'd be like, what? Look at these tiny little beers. Look at these tiny, you can buy like this much beer in a can. And I'm like, who would drink this little beer? Or who would drink this little Coca-Cola? Or who would drink this little tiny coffee? And I've kind of gotten accustomed, having lived here for so long, to like, it's just a little bit. I don't want the whole thing. I don't want a whole can of Coke. I just want like a little, you know, just a little bit. I don't need the whole can. And so they have these sort of like half cans that are kind of nice. And yeah, it's like little bites in moderation. And, you know, sweets are kind of the same thing. They have like a, you know, the first time I came here, or when I first had like the first sweets in Japan that I had, they were like so unsweet. They were so unsugary. And I remember these little traditional Japanese sweets that I got once. And they were just like, they were so plain. And now I just like, I go back home and I have like a piece of birthday cake and I'm like, I'm like it's impossibly sugary. And here it's just like, there's sugar. There's lots of sugar. It's not like there's country is without sugar and without junk food, but I don't know, just the size is a little bit more manageable, and the like level of intensity, it's all a little bit more subtle. Oh, it's actually really nice. Okay, so I am those guys who were here with all the ropes a second ago, they've all disappeared. I think they're scaling this building, maybe to put up some signage or something. I'm not totally sure. I've got all of my stuff sitting right here. On the outside, I've got 3 heavy bags. This is kind of cool. I'll share this with you. Why not? I made a little video about this a long time ago, and I'm so proud of this little design. Yeah, Ninja Cat Matt, they found they're bringing my glasses back to the station. Can you believe that? They're bringing them back to the station. The guy kind of shamed me. Why are you disrupting our plan? And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I you know, but they're bringing them back. Can you believe it? So anybody who wants to know, this is an Ulanzi. This is my selfie stick, and I'm a photographer. I care about, I looked really high and low for this specific one. It's tall, it's big, it's strong, it's little. Has my name on it with that little, what do we call that thing? You know, I have one of those things. And then, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's my selfie stick, and I put my GoPro here on it, and I use this other little locking system where this thing just pops off. I can also do it with, you know, the regular way, but this way I got these kind of like interchangeable things, and I have one for the camera, or excuse me, for the phone. So now I can put my phone on here, and that's my like selfie stick for the phone, and the selfie stick has like a little tripod on it like that. And it's like kind of more, it's more plastic than I wish it to be, but it's also metally. So that's kind of one of the reasons I like it. But I want to show you my Domkey bag while I'm killing time here. I might have some time to kill. So Domkey, I don't know where, Domkey's an American brand. This is Domkey. This is the cool camera bag for photojournalists, Domkey. And I love to brag about this bag because these bags are awesome. They're really good. They're so much like they're like the perfect blend of like style and utility. And how should I do this? I know this is like the Brian morning show. Okay, so the thing is that these Domkey bags, you get them. The light's good this way, which is why I want to be here. So the donkey bags are these canvas bags, right? And they're in this kind of like a photojournalist form factor. And there's different sizes, and like the old timers have like the little sizes, but they have these, they have this like, I prefer the fabric, you know, the cotton over the nylon. The nylon just is tasteless. I don't think it's cool. And it has like the strap on the top that you can have, and then it has it opens up, and there's like there's three camera bags here that I've taken out to use for today's travels. And there's two big pouches here on the front, and then over here on the side there's more pouches on the side. So it's a really expandable bag, and it, you know, I can carry it like this, and it fades and it looks great. And the thing that people love about the bag is that it like hugs your body. After you have it for a few years, it just starts to like hug the body. Nylon is durable though compared to cotton. I disagree. I think the nylon is cheaper. It just unravels easier, and I feel like the cotton, you can sew the cotton up. I mean, you can with the nylon too. I don't think it is. I think the cotton is lasts longer. And I also think that if you're really clever, you can even do like the old school like candle. You can do like the wax job on the cotton, and you can like waterproof it. But I don't know what's that called. But like you basically take candle wax and you just like melt it all over your bag, and then you take an iron and you iron it all over the place until it's waterproofed. And it's like things like this will last 100 years. There's still guys riding around with these old motorcycle jackets and barn jackets that have been kept forever and ever. Okay, Matt's an expert on this. He more than me even, I'm sure. Lights good everywhere. You look great. Oh, cheers, Matt. That's dope. 101 for your telescopy thing is good for yeah. And then let's see, cotton is my favorite plant. Yeah, but wears out quicker. Yeah, I guess so. These are great. I love this. But this is what I wanted to show you, is that what happens is if you have two of these bags, or if you buy one that's like used or something, or you just like, you can just make a strap. So it comes with one strap, right? It comes with a strap, and it's like that, right? And you just wear it as a strap. But what you do is you get another strap, and you strap it onto the same points, and you do a little jerry rig, and you just strap it onto the same points where the other strap is attached, and you make it as robust as you can, and then you throw the strap outside, and you can still carry it like this anytime. But if you're carrying a lot of stuff, you just dun, 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 dun. And it's actually like really easy access, and like it's really great. And then the other thing about this is it sits kind of low on your back, which maybe you think that you wouldn't want, and like this is not for the faint of hearts or the faint of shoulders. But when you're a photographer, you have to kind of like you have to be a mule. What you can do is you can get a backpack on a backpack, a hat on a hat. So I'm not normally this weighted down, but you've got the double, right? So that's how I'm rolling. And then I have like another carry thing. So then this is my second. I'm carrying a sleeping bag and a tent and a helmet. So the helmet has something to do with where I'm headed. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, it's I'm no longer 27, so it's not that fun to carry around, but I tell you, I went to I went to those fucking Himalaya mountains. I went to the top of them. Not the very top, but as close as one can go without falling into a crevasse and to one's end. As far as you can go. And I didn't go to Annapurna. I didn't go to Everest Base Camp. I went to another one called Longtong, which is, I'm not going to say off the beaten path, but it was awesome. I was out there by myself. It was really, really cool. And it took me like 14 days essentially, like ascending to get there. It took every bit, every last ounce, every drop of willpower I had in me to get to the top. And it nearly depleted me of everything that I had. And it was the biggest lesson of my life. It was the biggest euphoric, it was the highest vista I had ever seen, and probably ever will see. I was on the top of the world, and I did it. I got there, and it was like, I was saying how much I hated it, you know, for day after day. Like, this, why am I doing this? This fucking is so, this is stupid. For what reason am I doing this? And yet I was just compelled to keep going. And by far the hardest thing I've ever had to endure physically. And after that, I look back at those days and that time and that summit as the source of experience that I know that I can overcome this stuff being too heavy. I've carried heavier. I've done harder. Okay, fine, maybe I'm 48 and I'm not 28, but I just know I've done it. I've been there. I can do this. And I mean, maybe I can't do what I once did like that, but I can definitely draw upon those experiences and that energy. So that was very special to me. I'm not dodging your awesome bag just being a nerd. No, I hear you, and I'll fight you for my Domkey bag. I love the Domkey bag. Sadly, it's not as cool as it once was. People I'm into things being as fashionable as they can, and once their utility exceeds once their usefulness exceeds their fashionableness, they stop being interested in me. They have to have I'm gonna just say 50-50. And maybe it's even got to be 49 fashion, 51 fashion, 49 utility. But they can't be too much different than that. But the other direction doesn't work for me. It just Crocs fall into that category. A lot of utility, not so fashionable. No offense to the Crocs people. But nylon backpacks. Utility, maybe you're right, Ninja Cat Matt. But fashion, you're losing a few points. Even that goes into every little thing, every little decision I make. Cameras and pens and watches and motorcycles and any sort of cool boy toy industrial design sort of thing. It's always it has to have equal parts sensibility and utility, and it can't compromise. So that's why I'm kind of a stalwart for cotton. Let's see. Helmet. It looks heavy. Yes, 40, it is heavy. And somebody said to me I was sort of this is the plight of photographers around the world. They carry heavy stuff everywhere they go. And this is the light rig, Add on some strobes, some studio lights and some light stands and some reflectors and modifiers, and those things are big, and that's why there's photography assistants, is because all this stuff is big. And so I was talking with a friend of mine who has a nice little startup company, And am I live? I'm okay, right? And he said to me, "How long do you want to carry that camera bag? How many more years do you want to carry that camera bag?" That's what he said to me. And I was like, "Oh, that's a good question, actually. That actually is a very good question." But I don't know, man. I also, like, one of my first jobs is like my first jobby job that wasn't like mowing lawns and delivering papers and like working at the Christmas tree lot and like odd jobs was a dishwasher. I washed dishes at a restaurant, you know, and I had the opportunity, and it was like our high school buddies, one of our high school buddies, his mother was Colombian and his father was just a businessman, and like they went in, I think they had a couple restaurants, but all the high school kids worked there. And Aristi's Latin Grill, and they had paella and cazuela and ceviche and beans and rice and fried yucca and jerk stuff. And it was like all these like Latin American ladies, like not even like from all over the place, like a Peruvian lady, a Colombian lady, an Argentinian woman, or like El Salvadorian woman. It was all these like ladies from all across Central and South America, and they all made the most delicious food. Cajete de leche. You ever had this before? Cajete de leche. Oh my God. Guava, pure guava. What were some of the other ones? It's like delicious sweets. Plantain, fried plantains, fresh plantain, ripe plantain. I learned a lot about food there. It was amazing. Great high school experience. But I washed the dishes, and it was like the least glamorous job of the lot, and I don't know if they wanted me to do anything else. But because there was the guys who like wouldn't go near the dishwasher, and then the girls wouldn't go near the dishwasher, and I don't know what it was, but something about that, like the act of this is something I like. I don't mind the grind, and there's something like fulfilling about grinding. You know, put those rocks in the tumbler and like let them just go for a while. Soon you'll have these very beautiful polished rocks. There's something to be said for grinding and dishwashing and menial tasks, digging holes and filling them back up, and sweating and climbing up that mountain and carrying heavy photography equipment to no end. Like, what's the point? Like, where's the sensibility? Get a wagon, get a mule, make it easier for yourself. But there's something character building, right, about hard work. Although I do love like the Tom Sawyer where he's painting the fence, and Huck comes up and is like, "What are you doing? Look at you, haha, you got to paint the fence today." And he's like, "Have to paint the fence? You mean get to paint the fence? This is not everybody can paint the fence." And Tuck is suddenly like, "Wait a second, what do you mean you're having fun?" He's like, "Are you kidding me? You probably ought to back up a little bit, because this is some serious work." And Huck says, "Well, maybe I want to paint the fence too." No, Tuck, you can't possibly paint the fence. Only the most expert, excellent, most responsible people can paint the fence. Okay, well, how about, what if I give you this apple? I couldn't, no, you can't bribe me to paint. Well, just a little bit, talking, that I like that too. You got to be a little subversive with this stuff too. And I like having like a mule. I'd be good with a mule. An actual mule. Assistants, not so much. A mule that I could like equals. We'd be equals, And he could do his part of the thing, and I could do my part of the thing, and together we'd be like a little traveling circus. We'd have like a symbiotic relationship. That's kind of in the spirit of what is happening on these next 4 days. Is I'm forging a symbiotic relationship on these 4 days with you, and with myself, and with my gear, and with you'll see. Okay. Let me see. You're into kitsch. Hold on, let me go back a little bit further. Okay, wait. On top of the world, looking down on creation, the Carpenters. Yeah, and also there's the Dead lyric. Sitting on top of the world, dun, dun, dun. What is that? You're into kitsch. What is kitsch? Kitsch is like Yiddish, right? What exactly is kitsch? I have a feeling 4D man might know. Kitsch. What exactly is kitsch? Kitsch is like tchotchke. That's another Yiddish word, I assume. Kitsch is useless. What is kitsch? Useless? Is utility a notion in kitsch? Is like actual sensibility a notion in kitsch? I don't actually know. Or does it purely mean like gratuitous things, gizmos, not even, just, what is kitsch? I'd like to know the actual, what's the real definition of kitsch? I know what kitsch is in like pop culture, but what does kitsch really mean? I'm 90% utility, 10% ease and style. Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm 50-50, and this balance doesn't work for me at all. I can't do it. We're the complete opposite fashion-wise. I want to wear clever t-shirts nobody else has seen before. Clever t-shirts nobody else wants. Takes all kinds to fill the. It's true. Hey man, I like cheap and neat. You know, I like, what is it? Loud and proud, and what was the one Andrea used the other day for Ben and Jerry? Strong and wrong. You know, I'm into it, but if I can have my druthers, if I had my dithers, if I had my, what's that word? If I could have it my way, I wanted to have it has to have both. It has to have both. This is stupid, right? This is really, what is this? What am I doing? Okay, but if I go to it's gonna keep the sun off my neck. It's gonna, if I go to wash my hands and I don't have there's no paper towels or anything, this suddenly becomes, if I spill the coffee all over the bus, you know, suddenly this is what it goes to. If it just gets entirely too hot, I'll drench this in water and cold water, and I'll leave it on my neck and let it dry on my neck. And it's from Mexico. My friend from, where was she from? I want to say Guadalajara. My friend from Guadalajara brought it. In fact, I'll show it to you. It's really nice. And she just brought me back this toy. She brought me back a top, a spinning top, a little handmade, spinning top that has like this little gun that you put the top in, and it's like, the form has got to be hundreds of years old, and you pull the string out, and you get this beautiful rainbow toy, and it was wrapped in this beautiful bandana from Guadalajara, and she was like, "Oh, here, you can just throw that away. You don't need to keep that." And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And it's nothing special, but it's my little Mexican bandana. You know, it's like, did you see a Mexican bandana before? It looks like it's a regular bandana, and the other thing to note about it is it's not square. It's rectangular, which makes it like not exactly, it suddenly does this thing, right? It doesn't match up, but it can do one of these on the motorcycle. It can it can do one of these. I can become a Boy Scout. It's like, but it has fashion and it has utility. I can be a crip. But yeah, so anyway, hold on, I'm gonna read some more comments. This guy said the bus would be here. I thought it would be here before now. I hope he's not like, I don't hope he doesn't have them in his possession, right? He told me to wait outside. I have a feeling he's got them, and he like won't, he's waiting for me to come knock on the door rather than come out. Sometimes you meet these old Japanese guys, they don't, it's not non-Japanese people, it's the youth. They're like, get off my lawn kind of old Japanese guys, and I ruined his day. All he wanted to do was sit in his little office and watch the little TV all day. And I came in there and said like, "Oh," and he was like, "God damn it, I have to deal with something." This coffee's lasted me a long time. He's making you suffer so you learn. It's true. He is actually, which I have to actually in the end thank him for. Okay, going back. Very Japanese sentiments about the grind, maybe, could be something. It's the one drop. I heard Andrea was talking. She had gone on that. My friend Andrea, co-host of Ridiculous, she was talking about the Grand Canyon and about how the land mass is like separated. I didn't want to correct her on it, but she was saying about how these land masses like basically broke in half. They didn't break in half. They, like one water droplet landed on them 10 trillion times, and a little hole became a little sliver, and a little sliver became a longer sliver, and then a longer sliver became a little bead of water, and that became a creek, and it became a river, and it became, a riverbed, and then the riverbed became an ocean eventually. But it's those, one drop at a time. Something fulfilling about grinding. Andrea could have a field day riffing on that remark. There you go, 40 man. Yes, get her in here. Huck Finn may be the greatest American novel ever. Tom Sawyer was average. Laugh out loud, in my humble opinion, says Ninja Cat Matt. 40 man, you asked me, did you bring a book? I had Breakfast of Champions sitting on my table, and I was like, I was gonna bring a guitar. And I'm rereading Breakfast of Champions. I've read it 3 or 4 times, but I just left it. I was like, no, I'm not going to bring it. I'm not going to read it because I probably won't actually read it. But now as soon as you wrote that comment, you sort of jinxed me because I was like, I should have brought it. But I probably could pick it up, and I could probably pick up a couple of more because I could probably read that in a 3-hour rest area, which I'm going to need on this trip back to Tokyo. You bet he enjoys scolding you. Yes, this old man. You're both semi-correct about the Grand Canyon. I'm into geology. Okay. Well, I think we're dumbing it down a little bit. Okay, did I go on long enough there? Okay. Actually, Ninja Cat Matt, I have a geology degree from CU Boulder that I've never once put to use, but I did study it. Great place to study geology, CU Boulder. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. 41 minutes. I thought it was going to go 5. We went off on the Jihankis. We went off on Himeji. Okay, so but I got another one coming today. I got another one. I got like another, maybe even 2 or 3 coming today. I'm going to go for it. I'm really going to storytell this thing. I got 4 days of nonstop storytelling. You're going to be sick of me. I have a feeling. You're going to be sick of me by the time this weekend ends. But I don't care because I'm kind of doing it for myself, and I just want to see what I come up with. And like I said, I'm making a full-on piece, but I want to pepper it, but it won't be done for months. And so I think I want to put out something sooner than that because there's fun stories to be had, and it's very, very record centric. So I'm gonna be going to some record stores, and I want to. I don't know how it's going to come together, but the live stream is going to help me through it. Forty says, I have facsimiles of early drafts. Whoa, of Breakfast of Champions when the manuscript was still merged with Slaughterhouse 5. Oh, that makes sense. I didn't know that. I was lucky to get those from the Vonnegut estate. Good grief, man. Jeez. Very cool. I don't really know the history of those books. I've read them both, but I don't really know how. I never knew that they were intertwined like that, but that doesn't surprise me at all. They kind of seem like the same book in a way, but it's like part 1 and part 2. The Tide pages have crisp pencils, changes, and doodles on them. Good grief, man. What a treasure. Lucky you. That's really cool. Very, very cool. Well, this is my doodles, and these are my doodles and pencil changes here in the marginalia, okay, on the side of these videos. I've got a major video going on, but you're hearing my thinking out loud here on these live streams. Somebody said to me, I think it was Art from Vinyl Picker, South Carolina Vinyl Picker. Forgive me, Art, I'm spacing your channel's name. He said, I appreciate your driving musings where you're thinking out loud. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking out loud. And I appreciated that he left that comment. That meant a lot to me. I don't know if I'm worth listening to. There's another, I've been really enjoying the Ben Rankin interviews recently. I just kind of discovered Ben Rankin. He suddenly just appeared everywhere I looked. And I was watching his videos, and he's got this kind of series of questions that he's asking different VC channel people. And one of the questions is justify your channel, justify the existence of your channel. I think it's the first question. He's asking all the channels, and I'm I don't know if I can justify the channel, my own channel. I can justify it to myself, but I don't know if I can justify the existence to others. And they say that's the kind of wrong approach. They should, you should think about the audience first, and that should be the start, and then you work backwards from there. But I'm trying to be more conscious of my ums and ahs, which is only mentioned as a metaphor for like I don't mean to be like a narcissist about it, but it's always coming from my head first. I'm always thinking about it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to explain that, but I want to make it more for you guys. I am making it for you guys, but I'm also making it for me. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I am going to keep blogging here from the road, and I will go ahead and say goodbye, even though I've already said goodbye 2 or 3 times. Yes, thinking out loud, riffing to see where it goes, to see what's to see what's past the bend in the road. Yes, best justification would be you enjoy doing it. Yes, I'm better in the moment myself. Unscripted. Yeah, it's like, it is easier to like pull these live streams, this stream of consciousness, than like to actually sit down and press record. The forcing, forcing yourself to just go is definitely a good training for the other stuff. In fact, the other stuff is like harder. It's like considerably harder. Anybody who's doing live streams who isn't also doing videos, like I'm doing them, I think I'm doing them both in equal measures, but like they flex different parts of the brain. And anyway, so I'm gonna make my video that you'll see in the weeks or months. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I will be streaming again, probably in just a few hours. So who knows? But thanks for hanging out with me while I'm waiting to get my glasses back. I was really hoping to have like a little resolution, and the guy was gonna show up and be like, hey, you got the glasses, should we go? I don't really want to. He's not the kind of guy who's going to be like happy. I think I'll just wait. I'm going to wait till 9. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Hey, Gary. Safe travels. Thanks for popping in, Gary Harris. Ninja Cat Mask says, you ramble too much when you're doing fish reviews, though. Why you're behind? But I'll be there for it. Be safe. Okay. Hey! Audience first is bullshit unless you're chasing views. Consider the audience, sure, but your niche isn't interested in a Mr. Beast vinyl channel. No. Dude, Bryce Suzuki. Love Bryce Suzuki. Bryce is the fucking man, dude. You guys got to go follow Bryce. Bryce is not an out there dude, but he's somebody to be attuned to. Bryce Suzuki is a really cool cat who comes to Japan often with a name like Suzuki. He's half Japanese, I want to say maybe a quarter, but he comes here. He's got some roots here. He's got roots there, and he's a very talented photographer and a family man and an appreciator of, I don't know what, of creative spirit. And I admire Bryce a lot. And Bryce has been very encouraging for the tokyorecordstyle channel. In fact, I'd say he's the biggest encourager of the channel. And for that, I am incredibly indebted and grateful to have him as a follower. He's given me great advice, given me great support, and he's a major dude. Yes, as Matt says, he's a major dude. What is that from? All the kids love him. The dweebs, the sportos, the dweebs, they all think he's a righteous dude. Bryce Suzuki, you're my hero. Okay. See you guys on the next video. It won't be too long. Look out for me. Hit the all notifications. Maybe if you want, maybe you're already getting it, but knock it up from the personal to the all notifications, and you'll see me popping up 3 or 4 times. And I encourage you, like, pop on. I will stream at nighttime. I will try to stream from my computer, and I'll try to host a panel on one of these nights. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'll try to post a panel or like a proper restream, whatever, or StreamYard, and I'll try to invite you guys up. And you, by the time we talk again, we'll have some like little adventures to share, and we'll be able to talk about some more things. And you can tell me if you want to see anything in Japan. If you want to look at the map, I'm traveling from Hyogo. Yes, Matt says for the next 3 days he'll be at Fish at Folsom Field. I'm going to be watching those shows. I will have them in the headphones as best I can. Actually, I definitely will. I will be there watching along with you the whole entire time, without a doubt. I promise. Weather pending and everything else. But hop on a live stream with me and like ask me some things about Japan and dare me to do something or challenge me to do something, because I have actually like 4 days to go do like a sort of sojourn. It's like another like sort of like rites of passage, 20-year-old, something that you do, you know, when you're just coming of age, and I'm literally letting the wind blow me all back to Tokyo. I have no plan, and I'm so excited about it. And I want to, and so look at the map and look where Himeji is. And look where Tokyo is. I got to go through Kobe, through Osaka, through Nagoya, through Nagano, and all the way back to Tokyo. And I can go any which direction I want to go. And I don't have any hotels. I don't have anything. I'm going to sleep like behind convenience stores, which is where I'm also going to have like cup noodles and 0 beers. I'm so fucking pumped. It's going to be so great. I just remember like my days of like living in like $2 hotels in Thailand and Indonesia and all these places. It's going to be so much fun. And maybe it's not your jam, but it's definitely my jam. Can you feature on the reggae specific stores in Tokyo? That would be lit. Yeah, man. I mean, one of them, you can go search my channel for Coco Isle Music Market. There's another awesome reggae store named Nat Records, which I don't know those guys so well, but I need to chum up with them because, oh, Megane! すみません、ありがとうございます。いいですか？ありがとうございます。本当にありがとうございます。素晴らしい！ Yay! Happy ending! すみません。ごめんなさい. Everybody's looking at me. I got my glass back. 本当にありがとうございます. He was not happy. He's like scowling at me. すみません. All the old people are like, look at these fucking people who are just like, come to our nation, and they just blog and just turn these cameras on, and what are they doing? Who do they think they are? They're like having like a little TV show, you know? They're actually gonna, I think there's so many of us now. I want to consider myself outside of the category of you know, like, I don't know, tourists who are coming here and doing this, like, you know, disrespectful of the local shops and everything. And because I've been here 20 years, but I understand, but they may ban us. They may put this, I don't know, I heard mention of that. It can't possibly happen, but I imagine there's going to be some more rules about no filming in train stations, no filming, I don't know where, but let's hope. And then there was this big trouble early in this year. Anyway, now I'm going to go back to my regular video. I'm going to get to my place I need to be. I think I'm just barely going to make it. So I'm out of here, and thanks for tuning in. I got my glasses back. Yay, happy ending. All right, see you guys on the next stream. Bye.